All right. Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? It is the 10th of March, 2026, and I'm guessing there's some early adopters, at least I hope, of Out of the Park 27. As that released into early access today, which is a final beta. For those of you waiting to buy it on Steam, it will be out on Friday. Friday. So if any of you bought it outside of Steam and you happen to be popping by, let me know what you think of it. Again, this is a big stat release. Lots of stats being added for player analysis and stuff, and I think it's pretty cool. The uniforms, players look really good. The uniforms are really popping this time. The weather effects, um, they're improving that. The fact you can play World Baseball Classic. The game now has not only multiple game modes but multiple difficulty modes. So if some of you are really up and you fancy a challenge, there you go. We did a nice beta run through of payoff pitch baseball, and the hype is real on payoff. I cannot wait for it to release. It looks like they haven't announced pricing. It looks like the seasons are going to be separate purchases. So hopefully those are going to be reasonably priced again, because in that Steam ecosystem, um, people can get really dodgy, really upset about if they see that a game is a lot of DLC. And that being said, I think it's a great game. I'm going to go all in on it. So it looks like there's going to be most of the seasons that are available. Well, all the seasons that seem to be available in this beta, plus I think one additional or two additional ones. Um, so that's my only concern is going to be season pricing. But again, there's also the fact that I think that the demographic that's going to be buying payoff pitch baseball may not necessarily be the same demographic that is going to buy something like Super Mega Baseball, or certainly not like Age of Wonders 4 and those sort of big mega strategy games and stuff like that. Hey JT, how you doing? You said hope I had a good weekend. Good day today. I did. It was beautiful here in Pennsylvania. We had a beautiful day yesterday. Today, one more warm weather tomorrow. The cold starts to return, such that today was 70. It was like 72 degrees, I think, and by next Tuesday it'll be 40 degrees colder. So we're not out of the winter blues yet, man. Um, but anyhow, as far as payoff pitch, and I hope Avenroot doesn't take this as a criticism, I would just, like I said, my concern would be one of the bad raps the Paradox Games gets, and I think it would be good for maybe good for the payoff pitch people to understand is Paradox Games. They're a AAA developer, and they do great games. So they did the Crusaders King series, Stellaris. Those are probably two of their really big ones, right? But where they get slammed is on lots of DLC, and so um, maybe to think of a way to creatively sort of do this, because I'd hate to see payoff pitch get some guff from people um, for selling individual seasons. I mean, we know that it takes time to digitize those cards, to create the seasons, that they're not doing it in the same way that Digital Diamond Baseball and Out of the Park Baseball. Yeah, Hearts of Iron is another one. And those games do get hit. And the other thing is, of course, lots of folks are going to just think that okay, it's just drawing from a database or databases, the same way that Out of the Park and Digital Diamond. Well, it's very different. So hopefully they will take that into account as well. Maybe explaining that on the page so that people aren't seeing, oh my God, okay, I bought the game and now there's all this DLC going. Hopefully, if the season prices are less than the PDF versions, I think that will be a good draw for people. The seasons can't be that high, obviously, because again, there are two games on Steam that offer every season, and then you have, like, by the way, there's a ridiculous sale going on right now for Action PC Baseball, including a couple freebies that you can download over there as well today. So I'm going to be buying Payoff Pitch Baseball. No, there's no doubt about that. I love it. So now we get into another Pics video. I'm really considering doing a video about how to do player photos in games. As I saw I was just looking through the Discord really quickly, and people were like, "Oh my God, Pocket Pennant Run uses PNG files," and of course, Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC use JPEGs. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? Well, it's a really simple answer. So yeah, JT's going to be buying it too. It's impressive. I know a couple people said they're probably not going to play it a lot, but they want to buy it to support the developer because they're more happy with the manual entry that Action PC has implemented. And while I get that reasoning, for me, I'm going to be playing Payoff Pitch Baseball, not as a board game companion, but as playing it as Payoff Pitch. Just like, I could use this one up here, Pocket Pennant Run, as a board game companion, and it does it well. But I play Pocket Pennant Run for Pocket Pennant Run. Same thing for Action PC Baseball. I did show manual entry a few times on here just so people could see it, and it works beautifully well. But I'd rather play Action PC Baseball as Action PC Baseball. I don't do a lot of cards and dice gaming, and I'm mainly into this one and Strat Max. So board game companion for me really isn't a big deal. But anyhow, player picks. They do come in this game, and they do come in PNG format. But you're not going to have to. The person has asked in there, and I'm just not naming names. I know who it is, but I just don't name names. I mean, it was a good question, but I figure, one person has a question that they voice or write down. He or she voices or writes down. 5 other people at least have the same question. So you cannot use the same photos that you're using, say, in Out of the Park Baseball. But they've already thought about that in Pocket Pennant Run. So I'm not sure. When people are downloading Pocket Pennant Run, the software, if they're downloading everything that they need. So we're going to go through that in a minute. Samuel Smith says, good evening. Very good free JPEG converter called Pixelian Image Converter. You can change image back and forth. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good converters. There's no doubt about that. But you don't have to do that. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to do this, really. So we're going to go into... here's the Pocket Pennant Run where you guys go to download this, right? So there's the main program, but it's this guy up here after you do this. It's just artwork zips. You see it's 2.10 gigabytes. And let's face it, that's not a big footprint these days on PCs. I mean, yeah, there was a time when like, wow, you have a gigabyte, a gigabyte hard drive. Oh my God. Just download them. And then once you download them and unzip them, the way that they're going to look in your game. All right. If I just go here to see, I go to PPR. I don't know where you guys are going to have your stuff or whatever. Pocket Pennant Run, go to artwork, and then just go to players. And there they are. And split up into year. And these are all PNGs. Takes up 2 gigs. And look, even if you're converting, let's say you're converting the pictures that you have from Out of the Park Baseball into this, what you're missing though, you're going to have to make sure, like let's say from Action PC, you've got to make sure that you've got this year extension because the game specifically is going to be looking for that game extension. But it's 2 gigabytes, and then you got them. So there you go. There's everybody. Now, the only thing I'm disappointed in is that when we get back in the early days, there's quite a few seasons missing in the early days. So it starts to pick up. It looks like from 1927 on. I haven't seen any gaps there. Most of you guys don't play prior to, well, 1960 even. So, but they're all there for you, including there's 2025 all ready to go. And I think that's nice. And yes, you can switch formats in Paint. I would just, I would just say just download the artwork, and you have them all. I mean, you really, really do. The logos are over here, and good news about the logos is you just, if you have Action PC Baseball, you can just use these logos. Why do I know that? Because the initial set of logos I gave to Craig Harris to put into the game, and then Paul has since, he's added a lot more, like a lot of the Japanese baseball and stuff like that, and some of his homemade ones. But a lot of these logos are ones that I sent over, and they were already in PNG file. Now these I did convert these before I brought them over. But again, the size of the of this directory here just for the logos, it's not that big at all. The logos are going to take up 19 and a half megabytes on your hard drive. So the players do take up the big thing. There's no ballparks in here yet. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but just unzip them. And then once you unzip them, they just go into where you saw there in the artworks. And that's it. I mean, this is really short. It's just about where the photos go. But I am seriously considering doing a video for each game that I have, that you, except for out of the park baseball, or not out of the park baseball, old time baseball. You cannot import photos into that. They're hard coded into the game. It is what it is. But for this, for Digital Diamond, for Diamond Mine, for even for Baseball Mogul, how to do that, out of the park baseball, Action PC Baseball, because it's player photos that trip everybody up, it seems. So that's it. Has anybody here been an early adopter tonight of Out of the Park 27? It is available directly from the developer. Get a 10% discount and you get 3 days early access to it. I'm waiting to get it on Steam. So I won't be doing a broadcast of that until Friday, but I'm just interested to get people's initial thoughts since it is out there and we can talk about it. I don't know whether it's actually allowed to be shown yet. Maybe some other people have shown it or whatever. I really, really, I like what they've done with the interface. I would say if you're expecting a mega huge crazy update in eye candy and stuff like that, they've done a lot more with the animation and things like that. But this is more of like getting deep into player analysis and player difficulty, as I said, and we'll talk more about that on Friday night once it releases on Steam, or when I get home, and it'll already be released on Steam. So thank you to Lucas and Will and all the crew over there to release it on a Friday instead of a Tuesday. I don't know why games get released on Tuesdays. Must be, I don't know what it is. But there you go. I'm getting more to grips now with the baseball commissioner stats. So I did some games in 1955 last night, and I'll show you kind of just what that looks like right now, and switching projects and stuff. Really would like to have Paul. So just come on and just kind of take us through some more. But this works really nicely once you're comfortable with loading season data, saving season data. It's very, very easy to just switch between the two. I know this said, hey, Jack Dawson, good evening. Good evening to you, brother Jack. One thing I'd like to ask Paul is I'd like to see if there's a way that you can batch import box scores. There may not be a way to do it. You got to do them one at a time. It will advance to the next one. But if there's a way down the road with this to do this, I think it'd be really cool. But that being said, I think Baltimore already played a game. That being said, this is really, really a good thing. So there we go. We can get full box score reports in here, and it gets into a lot of more detail and stuff like that. So just kind of wanted to show you guys that there's a lot to Pocket Pennant Run Baseball now, and love it. So if there's no other questions, I don't know, we might do a game, we might not. If you guys aren't up for a game, just hang out for a few more minutes, and we'll call this one a broadcast. But it always hits me heart deeply when folks are having trouble with player photos, because let's face it, that's something that we like to see. You know, um, something that we definitely like to see, and yeah. So next game that will be coming up will be Brooklyn Dodgers opening day on 1955 with the against the Brooklyn Dodgers against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So yeah, okay, that's it. So I still haven't tried creating like this. I still don't understand the baseball toolkit yet enough. I've got to work with it more to be able to but you can create leagues from teams from like, so all these databases here. So now you can kind of, you always could do this, but you used to have to do it. Let me jump out of this. You used to have to kind of create your projects from this screen, which there's nothing wrong with it. Right now, 1955 is loaded in. Um, but now, you can actually create your own project files, either by uploading a CSV file of teams, or just the way I would do it is just from here. I think this would be a little faster. That's just me. That's just me, and this works really, really nicely. Samuel asking, says, you think Payoff Pitch will release in early April or later? A lot of content creators are showing off on YouTube, and I'm one of them. Yep. Guys are showing Out of the Park right now on YouTube. No word yet on Donbrough. Another reason I'm a little hesitant about showing Out of the Park baseball right now is because I don't know whether, I mean, I guess the embargo is lifted on beta testers. I haven't seen anything to the contrary. But I don't know. I think I'd rather show the game in full release. So that's one of the reasons I'm waiting. Geez, if I were a betting man about Payoff Pitch, I would say, I would guess early to mid-April. I really think, Avon Dana, whatever, he's working really hard on it. Dave Gardner putting it through its paces. And if you guys want another game of that, we can do another game of that, certainly. Um, of Payoff Pitch baseball. I love it, man. No word yet from Richard. Richard takes his time. I'm sure he wants to get it right. But I'd love to see Dombrov coming out, around opening day or something. Digital Dime Baseball, of course, is going to be due, I think, sometime next month. So getting hit with a lot of baseball all over the place. I don't know if there's going to be a new version of Baseball Mogul. I haven't seen anything about that game. So I was thinking about just reinstalling the old game just for the 2025 version, just for giggles. And, every once in a while put it up here because I do like it for its, there's a lot to like about that game, but yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, Richard, got to say, Richard has been very generous. When he did the original version of the game, he practically pretty much rewrote it. I mean, he was generous enough to for everybody that bought the original game to have an updated version. The wholly updated, redone, revamped version. So, but I'll buy it. I will buy it again. So. Be interesting to see. I was looking around for YouTube videos for early adopters of Out of the Park 27, just to get a general pulse of what people are thinking about it. But I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe no more Mogul, but there may be a season ticket engine on Digital Diamond. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a season ticket engine. I mean, if Clay is willing to work with Mark Cohen, that'd be super cool. I mean, I'm guessing, though, it's not going to work the same way as Status Pro, where cards are going to be generated. You'd be able to do them from any season. I wouldn't think that would happen, but could be. Who knows, man? I've been surprised before by these game developers. Um, Crash is continuing to work on the next version of the next beta of Strategy Baseball. So there's that. So good time of year, man. We're coming up on it. My man Paul Skeens did some serious damage in the World Baseball Classic. Was glad to see that. 7 strikeouts. Um, God, we're not even in like this kid's just looking crazy right now. So Australia's out. I guess apparently Australia's eliminated. Too bad for them. Australia has their own major leagues, or league, I guess, but that's it. So you guys tell me, can we just knock off? Should we do a game? I don't know, a game of something that doesn't require headphones. So it'd be this Diamond Mine Baseball. I don't know, payoff pitch. Let me know. I can't be. I can even do an app a PC game. I just don't feel like wearing the headphones tonight. So got to be a game where sound isn't such a big thing. Or we just knock off, man. That's all. We just knock off, and I can go watch a movie or something. Watching a great documentary right now on Amazon Prime called The Great War, and I'm happy to see that now there's an American documentary on the Great Wars. I feel that that war has largely been forgotten in the United States, and it was very important, not just because of its brutality, but it defined the modern era much more than World War II did. But it's really great. I highly recommend it. It's a 3-episode documentary. Each episode is roughly 2 hours, and it's beautifully done. And there's lots I've been learning in that. Uh, not that I'm an expert on World War One, but learning a lot. Learning a lot. So maybe we can ask JT to come on here for a little bit and talk some baseball or somebody. But if not, if nobody seems to be answering, we'll just knock this out right now. And just thank you all for coming in. Here's Dan Burke, my favorite Irishman. How you doing, Dan? Dan, are you an early adopter of Out of the Park Baseball? Trying to find somebody that adopted it early. I mean, I've been playing the beta, so I'm not like going to be surprised by anything. I'm just trying to just gauge what people might be thinking of it, and because I'll be showing it Friday night, because that it's full release. I think that's just fair for that game. So, Dan, you were here, I think, for the payoff pitch thing. So I was watching Dave Gardner do a bit last night. Samus is another payoff pitch. Okay, we can do that. We definitely can do that. And there we go. I love the splash screen on this, by the way. All right, cool. That's right. That's right. You don't play a lot of Out of the Park. All right. You guys just want to just muck about with something again in 1975. Let's just pick a game in 1975 and let's replay it. I don't know. So that's another nice thing, that with this game, just even with the exhibition mode, I can pick any game in history, just like I can in Pocket Pennant Run, and play it for these teams. Or I haven't shown you guys how to set up projects, but it's really easy, and you can look at Dave Gardner's thing to do that. You can change team names and stuff like that, but I don't know that you're gonna be able to do anything with logos yet. All right, so let's stay in 1975. And I don't know, let's just pick a date sometime in May. Let's see what games were played that day. All right, well, we could, I'm not really Rangers. Let's move ahead. No offense. No offense, guys. No offense. Let me see. Let me see. Looking for a Boston Red Sox game that'd be kind of fun. There we go. Well, we got Minnesota and Boston. I guess we could just do that game. Let's do that game. Like World War I watch the latest version of All Quiet on the West. I've seen it. It's I love it. It's one of the most harrowing films I've ever seen. Absolutely harrowing. And I think that anybody that glorifies war and thinks it's just like all awesome should definitely watch the newest version of All Quiet on the Western Front. Even the music is unsettling, and it doesn't follow the novel completely closely, but it's close enough. But it definitely gets the same message across, I think, that Eric Marie Remarque, the book's author, wanted to get across. And it's definitely the best version of All Quiet on the Western Front. It's actually, so World War One, that war interests me for a lot of reasons. Not that I love war, but that just the whole thing about it. All right. So we can do a Cincinnati game. You know what? Let's do the Cubs and the Reds. Let's do that. Okay. So let me see what do we got here. All right, leading off. So we're going to do these lineups here. Don Cassinger will be leading off, playing short for the Cubs. Batting second in left field, Jose Cardinal. Batting third at third base, Bill Madlock. Batting the cleanup spot, center fielder Rick Monday. Batting fifth at first base, Andre Thornton. Batting sixth in right field, we got Pete Lecoq. Batting seventh in second base, Manny Trio. Batting eighth and catching, Steve Swisher. And taking the mound and batting ninth, Rick Russell, who will he'll be a future Pittsburgh Pirate. For the hometown Cincinnati Reds, leading off at third base, Pete Rose. Batting second in right field, Dan Dreesen. Batting third at second base, Joe Morgan. Batting cleanup and catching, Johnny Bench. Batting fifth, first base, Tony Perez. Batting sixth, center field, Cesar Geronimo. Batting seventh at short, Dave Concepcion. Batting eighth in left field, George Foster. And pitching and batting ninth, Gary Nolan. All right, so let's play ball, baby. Let's play ball. Top of the first. Let me just look at my game options to see where I have things set up, because I do like to do this with the, let me see, what do I want? Manual dice rolling, all dice, and FAC, and I don't want to enter play results manually. Okay, we're going to leave auto steal, auto sack bunt on, and let's play. Let's play. George Foster in left, Geronimo in center, and Dan Dreesen is right. And remember, doesn't that just look beautiful? It's great. Perez at first, Morgan at second, Concepcion at short, Pete Rose at the hot corner, Johnny Bench behind the plate, Don Cassinger leading it off. And again, we're just doing this as an exhibition game. And here we go. All right, rolling for the pitcher here. And here we go. This is going to be a ballpark play. So we're going to do our ballpark look up here. And this one is going to be wheelhouse. Now we're going to roll for the batter. And this is going to be a base hit for Don Cassinger. All right, Cubbies with a runner aboard. And brings up Jose Cardinal. All right, here we go. Steal jump check. All right, Cassinger fails on the steal. On the jump check for a steal, which kind of makes sense. So again, we look over here. Yeah, kind of makes sense. All right. And payoff pitch. Here we go. All right. So we're going to go for the pitcher. And this is going to be a tough and fly ball right field. Dan Dreesen camps under it. And he will make the grab for the out. So one away here. Original 1933, surprisingly good and violent. Yes. And won an Academy Award, too. And that ending scene, very, very faithful to the book. The one that was done in 1979 with Richard Thomas and Ernest Borgnine was pretty good, too. But this latest one is, I think it's way more harrowing than Saving Private Ryan. I really do. That All Quiet on the Western Front, the newest edition, newest remake of that classic. And a great novel, by the way. If you've never read All Quiet on the Western Front, you really should. All right, here is Bill Madlock. And let's get it going here. So there won't be a sack bunt. Let's go for the pitcher. And this is going to be a tough out on the batter. And this is going to be a pop up to second base. So Joe Morgan camps under it for out number 2, brings up Rick Monday. And this is going to be a patient out, rolling for the batter. And it's going to be a walk. All right. So Rick Monday draws the walk. So 2 Cubs aboard, 2 down here in the top of the first inning. And brings up Andre Thornton. And this one is going to be in play. And here we go. So this is going to be a double. And we're going to see what's going to happen here on this fax action card. And this is going to be a 2-base double. So the Chicago Cubs put 2 on the board here in the first. 2 down. All right, here's Pete Lecoq. All right. So failed on the steal. And we're going to go ahead and just boom and boom. All right, this one is in play. And this will be a grounder to second. And that will end the inning. All right, so Chicago Cubs pick up 2 runs and 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the first. And the Cubs 2 and the Cincinnati Reds coming to bat. Okay, so let me get back here to Dan. He says, so I don't like that you can't actually see who's on first base like Action PC. So you can, but you have to hover over who's on base. But yeah, that would be, if that's what you're talking about. You can't see the ratings or anything like that. So I'll show you if Pete Rose gets on. We could cheat and put Pete Rose on, but we're not going to. All right, and let's do it. All right. Okay, this is going to be patient. And for the batter, it's going to be a fly ball, center field, Rick Monday. We'll reel it in for out number 1. All right. Dan Dreesen in the box now. And here's the pitch. This is in a wheelhouse. And there we go. So we got us a base hit. Okay. Dan Dreesen's aboard. So I'm going to cancel this just so you can see how you can do this. So right now, it's just a meeple, but if I do that, we see Dan Dreesen's there. Yep. It's all you got to do. My thing is, though, I think you should have the choice to have this stay turned on, right? On all the time. Why it goes off, I don't know. Because I want to be able to also mouse down and see those ratings, which would be really, really nice. So quality of life improvement that could be made there. Make this toggleable so that I can see Dreesen would be on. Let's say if Joe Morgan gets on, what have you. Okay. All right. And here's the pitch. This one is going to be a tough. And this will be a strikeout. So Joe Morgan whiffs Rick Russell. Bringing a little bit there, pulling him up. Now here's 2 down and Johnny Bench. Okay, fail, continue. And patient, rolling for the batter. And this is going to be a fly ball to right. And that will retire the side as Pete Lecoq settles under it. So Cincinnati gets a hit and nothing else. Top of the second inning, the Cubs lead the Reds 2-0 here in 1975. Like to see ratings and have him look like the batter. So I'm not sure what their plans are for kind of the cosmetics on here. And of course, there's a lot of ways you can play this game too. But yeah. Hey, John, great to see you. So as far as those ratings go, I think they do have to stay up there. Now, that being said, when you hover over anybody's name here in the lineup, so let's say that we had somebody on base. Let's say that Manny Trio gets on, right? When Trio's on, we can go back and just mouse over Trio. And you do have his ratings there. That does help. For me, though, for a quick kind of thing, I would like to have that on. So, Dan, I definitely see where you're coming from on that. Okay, let's go to the pitch. All right, and this is going to be a ballpark check here. And what do we got in the old ballpark check? So this is going to be wheelhouse in a ballpark. And for the batter, this is going to be a base hit for Manny Trio. So Trio's aboard. Okay, now I can go over here. And here's the thing. Unfortunately, you have to actually go out of this to see what Trio's doing. So I know that Dave Gardner had mentioned, I think this is a good idea. Can this screen be moved up a little bit? Because you would still be able to see through the transparency to have the line score and also your, just play results that play here. And I would like this resized too. So make this maybe a little bit more transparent, but that's not important right now. The line score, it will be at the end of the inning. So that would be one way to do it. So the only way that I'm going to be able to see Manny Trio is to go to Manny Trio this way. So may not be the optimum solution. I think if it's moved up here, right, so that we have the runners here, but you can still see, these outfield ratings or what have you. I think that could work nicely if they can't make Manny Trio. I still think that needs to stay up there, and I can toggle that on or off. Are there custom ballparks, or do they use the same ballpark for every game? So I haven't explored that, to be honest with you. Um, Certainly, that's something that we can look at. I haven't looked at that yet, and how park effect. I mean, it uses park effects, but as far as the custom ballparks, I don't know. Good question. Hey, there's Kevin. How you doing, man? He says, Beatles, you can resize the play-by-play box, but it's hard to find the spot. Oh, okay. So, I see what you mean. Because I mean, it's you can move it, but that big middle screen, I think, needs to go up. And again, and I know you're play testing along as I am. I would like to be able to see this stay on, because if I move off that meeple, there goes those ratings. Whereas I can look at Gary Nolan's ratings all the way here. I can look at Steve Swisher, but I'm not going to remember what Steve Swisher is going to do once he's on base, right? And I can look at Swisher's card, but I can't look at Manny Trio's card unless I go over to here. Again, I think these would be good quality life. So how can you resize the play-by-play? Wow, hard to find the spot. You're right about that. Wow. Because my cursor isn't... Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So basically, guys, just there's nothing to give you any sort of indication of where it is. Lower right corner is how you move that, and then you can move this widget up if you want. Thanks, Kevin. He says, yeah, same. He's adding the runner list back as an option. You'll be able to see. Good. That is absolutely huge. And Kevin, I really appreciate you, because this was one of the things I talked about the other night, because I don't want to see just the latest play. I would like to see at least the last two. Yeah. So I'm just seeing something. Okay, so this isn't movable. I don't really care if this is movable or not. This doesn't matter. This crucial information needs to be up there. I don't really have to see this. I do like that it does show you, since this is a card and dice game, but it has an AI in it. I do like that you can kind of look at the thinking, the quote unquote thought process here. So that's a great sign. But yeah, I think Dan's right. I'd love for that to just stay on. Some people are going to have great memories and say, oh yeah, Manny Trio, da 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 da. But I want to know who's on base. All right, Steve Swisher now. Remember, guys, this is also a board game companion if you want to play it like that. Okay, so we got us a bunt. Looks good here. And Steve Swisher around the bunt. And let's see what happens. Is he successful? Yep. Runners advance. So Steve Swisher gets the job done. So interesting there. Calling for a sack bunt in the 8 slot. I would expect that in dead ball baseball, but not now. Only major negative John says that he's seen is it takes forever to simulate games. So just saw in the beta testing Discord that he's been working to optimize that, and he has greatly improved the speed. So I think that's coming up in the next beta, Kevin. If I read that correctly, I think you were in that. You saw that thread as well. So hang in there, John. It's coming. Because yeah, I know that Dave Gardner last night was doing, trying to sim some games, and he's, wow, this is kind of slow. There's been nothing faster. I've never seen a baseball game sim out an entire season faster than baseball for Windows. So I mean, Action PC is not the fastest. Um, Out of the Park's pretty fast, but for some reason, Baseball for Windows can just it's so fast. I don't. Do you remember we were doing the 1968 comparison thingy last year? Baseball for Windows just absolutely goes into warp speed when it's doing season replays. It's crazy. It's like when you're doing auto plays and you're trying to stop it, you got to kind of time when you're stopping it. If you haven't picked a date to stop by, that just is incredible how fast it is. And the faster your machine, the more it blazes too. Yeah, Out of the Park's fast. Still not as fast as Baseball for Windows, but yeah, improving the speed heading to bed. All right, thank you, Kevin. No, I'm sorry, man. I know I'm on late. I'm a vampire. What can I say? Sleep well, my friend. All right. What the hell are we doing here? Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're checking for a steel jump for Manny Trio. Okay. Continue. And okay, looks like we got a bunt attempt. This looks pretty good this time. Okay, AI manager. So now Russell gonna bunt, and let's flip the fac. And there we go. So the lead runner is out. So Rick Russell does not get the job done. Defense gets the lead runner. So good job there by Cincinnati. JT also a vampire. I know that, JT. I know that, man. That's why we got to be brothers, dude. We just have to be. All right. So it looks like we have a steal attempt by Rick Russell. Okay, that's new. And he's safe. Rick Russell gets a stolen base. Wow. Really? Um, okay. Maybe it's because I remember Rick Russell from the Pirates, and he was no base stealer then. Anyhow, all good. Anything can happen in baseball. I'm very forgiving. All right, here we go. Don Cassinger. Yeah, Big Daddy stole a base. I know. It's unbelievable. All right, this is a wheelhouse. And for the batter, we've got okay, looks like there's a single, and we've got base runner advancement. And so one base, runner two scores. Rick Russell, I don't, man, Rick Russell, Rick Russell, pretty damn speedy there, I think. In real life, Russell attempted one steal all season, was thrown out. Yeah, I'm kind of like, so it makes me wonder how, I think I'm gonna have to ask this in the forums. It's like, I know that rare, weird things can happen, but Rick Russell stealing a base and Rick Russell scoring from now. Of course, I don't know where that base hit went to, so maybe. I know Dave had tried to shut off the AI and it was still calling plays, so I'm not sure. But Rick Russell was no base stealer at all, so I'm kind of. I'll take believable results. It doesn't have to be accurate. But wow. Well, so two bunts in a row in 1975 makes me suspicious. If this was 1915, I'd be like, yeah, that's par for the course. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's continue for a bit. I don't know if we'll do the whole 9 innings, but okay. So, Don Kessinger. So, Kessinger on there. I can't look at his runner steal rating. There he is. So, I have to look at Kessinger over here. Let me see. So, so yeah, his steal jump is he's yeah. So I wonder if there would be a way for guys, unless again it's one of those things where they get lucky. But if you look there on under steal and jump, he's got an F2, right? He's got an F for stealing and a two. Actually, let's look at Russell while we're here. Let's try see if we can get a better look. Oh, we only get his pitcher hitting card. Damn it. So maybe card number 10 isn't the right card for Rick Russell. I didn't realize this before, so this doesn't actually use pitcher hitting cards or like hitting cards for the pitcher himself. because this is a 3C Steeler, so that's not right. I don't think that's right. So I wonder if there's an option in this game where you can say I don't like, you know, sort of like how you can edit players in other digital baseball games. That's high for Rick Russell. So again, any Cubbies fans, tell me, right? I mean, I'm hearing right that like one steal, so that could be an issue. Again, guys, we're talking. This is the first beta, but yeah, I'm definitely going to report that because not trying to rip off the Cubbies. They already had a 2-run lead anyhow. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely that's too high. All right. Anyhow, continuing, I think this is still a great game. And again, we're in an early beta here, so this is the first beta actually. All right, so this one is in play for Cardinal, and he's going to pop out to Johnny Bench, and that retires the side. Go to the bottom of the second inning. The Cubs lead the Reds 3-0 here in 1975. All right, Tony Perez, Cesar Geronimo, and Dave Concepcion. I should be lazy tonight and just use the English pronunciation of his name, but I probably won't. All right, and here we go. Russell deals. This is going to be tough. And grounder to short. So Kessinger up with it and over to Andre Thornton for the 6-3 put out. One away for Cesar Geronimo. And here is the pitch. Tough. And fly ball left field. Tapping once, tapping twice. Jose Cardinal makes the play for 2 down. Here's Dave Concepcion now. And if you guys want to see his card or anything, just let me know. I'll hover over them. Okay, here we go. And the roll for the pitcher. This is going to be tough off the batter and grounder to short. So Don Kessinger busy there in a 6-3 put out, and that retires the side. We've played 2 here in Cincinnati. Cubs lead the Reds 3-0. Bill Madlock, Rick Monday, Andre Thornton due up for the Chicago Cubs. All right. Nolan wheels and deals. This ball is in play, and this is going to be grounder to short. Concepcion to Perez for out number 1. Here's Rick Monday now. The game moves along pretty quickly, though. Got to give it that. All right, and this one is going to be this ball in play, fly out right field. Okay. 2 up, 2 down for Andre Thornton. And here we go. This one in play. And base hit. Base hit for Andre Thornton. So Thornton aboard, and that brings up Pete Lecoq. First time up for him. Yep. Failed on the jump. And pitcher, this is going to be a ballpark lookup. And let's see what happens with that ballpark lookup. In play. And rolling for the batter, finally grounder to second. Side retired. Go to the bottom of the third. Chicago 3 and Cincinnati nothing. Let me move down here a little bit. Actually, let me pop these out now at this point. Oops, I want to pop out the comments. Yeah, more updates coming for Lance Hafter baseball. Good. He's not forgotten. Suggested a guy doing it to sell retro packaged Lance Hafner like in the 80s. It's a maybe. Yeah. Looking for some more updates. I still don't think the pathing's right yet because there's a lot in that game I want to be able to do and I can't do it. And I haven't shown it since I put things in this new computer, so I am missing. I got to put Full Count Baseball. I got to install it. It's on here. I just haven't done anything yet with it. Thank you, Samuel, for that. Oh, yeah, JT Dutch. Yeah, exactly. He says, don't get me wrong. This looks great and realize it's a beta. Yeah. But Rick Russell stealing and manufacturing runs like that on the base paths, it's like what we talk about a lot of time. And I think the consensus is that it doesn't have to be accurate, but it's got to be believable. And I just don't believe Big Daddy can just pull off a Ty Cobb or a Lou Brock like that, or a Ricky Henderson or whatever. All right, here's George Foster. I do like that we do see here at least that they're 0 for 1, 1 for 1. I don't expect every game to do what Action PC does. Now let's look at Gary Nolan card. So Gary Nolan's card, he is a 9. But again, I'm seeing that Steele is 3C. So are all the pitching cards that, or is this just one of those things where it's just sort of a coincidence? Maybe. But so Gary Nolan and Rick Russell, both the same. One of these is probably more accurate than the other, I think. All right. So Rick Russell got to steal a base. All right. Let's do this. But yeah, I mean, the flow of the game, the way it plays, I think is really, really nice. You can't mess up. Like, I can't accidentally re-roll these again. There we go. Okay, it's fly ball, center field. And George Foster will hit this one out to Rick Monday. All right, so one away, and here's Gary Nolan. Payoff pitch. And roll for the pitcher. This one in play, and for the batter, because we have auto bunt on, so this one fly to center. Rick Monday busy out there, and that will bring up the top of the order again, Pete Rose, who's nothing for 1. Is there, I guess the only way to do this is to actually look at a box score and play results. So I'm not really going to worry about that too much, but that would be the way to say it. These trends are really, really cool, by the way. The trends off the cards and stuff. This is a nice touch. First saw this in Strat Max. All right, and Rick Russell ready to deal now to Charlie Hustle. And this one is patient. And he is indeed patient, as Pete Rose will draw the walk. All right. So not great ratings there, it seems, for Charlie Hustle for speed. Here's Dan Dreesen now. And this is going to be patient. And we got a base hit by Dan Dreesen. And this one is going to be 2 bases, runner 2 scores. So I want to see how that plays out. So runner 1 gets 2 bases and runner 2 scores. So on this fast action card here. So this turns into a liner into left center cut off by the left fielder. Runners advance 2 bases. Is that what I'm seeing on a double? So on a single line drive into left, runner on first advances 2, runner on second scores. I don't have a runner on second, but okay. All right. It makes sense. I thought he was going to score, but there wasn't anybody on second. I got it now. He went from Big Daddy to Big Speedy. No kidding. All right. They're going to do a steel jump check on Dan Dreesen. Failed. Continue. Okay. And rolling for the pitcher. This one is in play. And grounder to first. So this one looks like a 3 unassisted. Yes, indeed. I'll throw him to first for yes, so it's a 3-1. All right, so Chicago shutting out Cincinnati here as we enter the middle innings of this game. It's 3-0 in favor of the Cubs against the big red machine, Manny Trio, leading things off here. Trio 1 for 1. Okay, tough. And grounder to first. So we're going to score that one. They're scoring a G3, but it's actually going to be a 3-1, but that's okay. I'm not going to be that picky about it. All right, here's Steve Schwisher. Okay, this ball is in play. And fly ball center field. And it's Cesar Geronimo making the grab for 2 down. Here's Rick Russell, a.k.a. Ty Cobb, Lou Brock, Ricky Henderson, Oscar Charleston, Eddie Collins, Hannes Wagner at bat. And here we go. If he steals another base, we're calling this game. All right, this is a defense play. Let's flip the fac. And let me see. So range case. Now we go into a ballpark check. And it's an out. And let's see, what flavor of out is it? It's a grounder to first. All right. Cincinnati does nothing. We go to the bottom of the, or Chicago does nothing. We go to the bottom of the fourth. I'm sorry. 3-0 in favor of the Chicago Cubs. All right. So Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Cesar Geronimo do up. My heart G is not so good tonight. All right, this one in wheelhouse for Johnny Bench. And open the window, Aunt Minnie. Cincinnati gets on the board as Johnny Bench blasts one. There we go. This is out of here. So Cincinnati gets on the board. It's now 3-1. There's Tony Perez. He has nothing for one. And this is going to be patient. And base hit for Tony Perez. All right. Brings up Cesar Geronimo, and he has nothing for one. Okay, failed on the jump. And sacrifice bunt. So no bunt. So rolling now for the pitcher. And this is patient. And fly ball to left. All right. One away, Dave Concepcion, nothing for one. Okay, no bunt. Rolling for the pitcher. Tough. And a strikeout. Concepcion whiffs. Rick Russell picking up the strikeout. All right, so Russell with 2 strikes out in this game. A walk has given up a dinger to Johnny Bench. And here's George Foster. George Foster's nothing for one. And this one in play. And grounder to third. So one of the things that I love about this game is I knew nothing about payoff pitch coming into it. And I really kind of feel like I understand what's going on. So that's huge credit to Avenroot to Dana for doing this. It's some games I'd be like, okay, I got to look at this manual. I got to look at this chart. And this does play well as a board game companion, by the way, and plays good. You can even play this just as kind of like a digital baseball game, and it plays really well. Where you can actually see the dice roll and stuff like that. So, and then it gives you the result. All right, here's Don Kessinger. We're back at the top of the order for the Chicago Cubs, and he is 2 for 2 on the day. He wants to keep that going here. All right, and from the pitcher, this is going to be ballpark, wheelhouse, and for the batter, base hit. So Cubbies picking up their 6th base hit of the game. Slaps a single into the gap. Jose Cardinal. Cardinal, nothing for 2. Steal jump. Okay, failed on that. Sack bunt, no bunt. Pitcher roll. This is going to be defense, so we're going to flip our fast action card. And what do we have, baby? We're doing another ballpark check here. All right, and this is out, and the final result is going to be a fly out to left field. Okay. George Foster makes the catch. Okay, here is Bill Madlock, nothing for 2. And here's the roll. No bunt, rolling for the pitcher. This one is in play, and this is going to be a double for the Mad Dog. I'm going to have base runner advancement. And the Cubs just doing dirt here, buddy. So lines are shot off the wall. Stand up double, and the Cubs pick up run number 4. So 4-1 Chicago. I forgot to see who actually won this game. All right. Yeah, no steal. Continue. Sack bunt, no bunt. Pitcher roll. This one in play. Okay, and we got a base hit, and we have some runner advancement going on here. Okay, so single. Runner 1, 2 bases. Runner 2 scores. Whatever that means, there we go. AI manager makes a picture change, so Will McEnany will replace Gary Nolan. Runs allowed threshold exceeded 5 runs. All right, so McEnany comes in here now, and he will face Andre Thornton. And steal jump check failed. Sack bunt, no bunt. Pitcher roll. Patient. And the result is Andre Thornton draws the walk. So 2 Cubbies aboard. Rick Monday at second, trailing him Andre Thornton at first. And here's Pete Lecoq, who's nothing for 2. So if you knew the date, you could look the game up. And it doesn't show me the date up here. So one of the cool things that wait, maybe it does over here in the box score. It does not. Does it show me the play results? It does not. I wonder if maybe the bottom of the box score. No. So something Pocket Pennant Run does. It keeps that date of the game up there. Okay. All right. So let's keep doing it. I love the flow of this game. It's great. Okay, no bunt. Roll from the pitcher. This one's going to be in play. And Lecoq cuts on this one, and this one grounded out to short. And let me see. Ground ball fielded by. Let's do this check. Grounded to short. Now we're doing a double play check. And the double play does go. Does it not? No. Pete Lecoq runs into 6-4 double play. 2 down on 1 swing. Ending double play. We go to the middle of the 5th. 5-1 Cubs. Wow. Okay, Will McEnany. Now he's card number 1. Let's look at him. Yeah, so that Steel 3C seems to be on all the pitcher cards. So hopefully those will get updated. If I'm understanding how this is working, it seems like all these are pretty much identical for pitchers. So, right? Because 3C, isn't this have to deal with his jump and his stealing ability, right? Because it does differentiate between the two, as does Action PC Baseball, by the way. So that's why you get guys like Clemente that's going to have like a kind of low jump rating, but that he can run. So all 3 pitchers we've seen today, their steal is 3C. And this is we've had card 1, card 9, and card 10. All right, payoff pitch to McEnany. Here we go. So you guys can see it again here. If we make it a little larger, it's 3C. Okay, and this is wheelhouse and popped out to second base. That's what I expect pitchers to do. And in trio has it 4, out number 1. Back at the top of the order, Charlie Hustle is nothing for 1. And the pitch, this one in play. And base hit for Pete Rose. So Pete Rose is aboard. Dan Dreesen, 2 for 2. And this is going to be tough. And it is a base hit. Let's look at advancement here. So it's a single. All right. So runners move up a base. All right. So Dan Dreesen, perfect 3 for 3 today for him. Brings up Joe Morgan, nothing for 2, including a strikeout. Patient. And Joe Morgan draws the walk. So Rick Russell walks him loaded. Manager bringing the corners in. Runner on third base with less than 2 outs. Okay. Johnny Bench homered his last time up. Could do a lot of damage right here. This one in play. Batter roll. He grounds to short. Okay, and let's do this check. And a double play check. So the only play is at first, and the runners advance. So Cincinnati gets one back. It's 5-2 here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 down. All right. So Cesar Geronimo waits on deck. He's 0 for 2. Will they intentionally walk Perez? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. This ball is in play. It's a base hit. Let's flip the fact, baby. So single. Runner one, two bases. Runner two scores. And Cincinnati making it a game. Tony Perez doing the big bat here a little bit. 5-4 now. They're acting like the big red machine now, aren't they? All right. Wait, let me see something here. Okay. I just kind of lost I'm like, why are they doing that? Okay, let's do this. All right, this one is tough. And it doesn't matter which dice you click on. The next one's a roll anyhow. Grounder to second. So Pennant Trio has it and throws on to first for the out. End of the fifth, but Cincinnati Reds pick up 3 runs here. It's now Chicago leading by a slim 5-4. Will McEnany stays on in relief. He's worked 2/3 of an inning and has walked one. Manny Trio is 1 for 2. By the pitcher, this one a wheelhouse for the batter. Fly ball into center. 1 up, 1 down as Geronimo makes the catch. All right, here's Steve Swisher. He's nothing for 1. McEnany to deal. And this is going to be a defense check. Whoop, got to flip the fact, baby. All right, so this looks like this is going to be an E4. We're going to do a ballpark check, though. E4, final result is an out. Flip the fact. And this is going to be a line out to second base. So the error check is not a big deal. So liner to second. Okay, Joe Morgan dives for that line drive. Great job. Okay. All right. So I like the fact that you're seeing Joe Morgan, right? So what might have been an error maybe for a lesser rated second baseman, Morgan makes that play. Nice. Again, those cards are beautiful, and I like the how you're seeing those nice ratings pop out there on that little card beside Joe Morgan. Okay, here is Rick Russell, king of the stolen bases, apparently. And this is patient. And Rick Russell flies to center. George Foster has it for the out. No change in the score as we go to the bottom of 6. Chicago leads Cincinnati 5-4. Okay. Having a good time. So I know that most of the people, I think everybody that we talked to, at least in the chat the other night, said that this is definitely a game they're going to buy. And you can add me to the club. Definitely going to be buying this. All right, Dave Concepcion, George Foster, and we'll see if Will McEnany will bat for himself. Concepcion in the game is nothing for 2. Tough. And this is going to be a strike 3. Mr. Concepcion grabs some pine. So Rick Russell has struck out 3 Cincinnati Reds now, brings up George Foster. Payoff. Here we go to payoff, or to the payoff pitch, as it were. So this one tough, batter, and George Foster strikes out. Look at this. Look at Rick Russell now bringing the strikeouts here. Oof, 4 of them for sure. And I don't mind DLC for season releases. I don't either, but the larger Steam community, they can be pretty hostile. But yeah, as long as the seasons are reasonably priced, I'm fine with it. I'm fine as long as they're not, they're not costing like what they cost for, PC replay, baseball, whatever. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I definitely want to go all in on this game. All right, Will McEnany looks like he's going to hit for himself. Yep, he's going to hit for himself. 2 down. I guess they want to keep him on there. All right. Anyhow, guys, this is a ballpark check over there, and this is going to be a wheelhouse. Roll for the batter, grounder to short. And that will retire the side. Kessinger up with it and fires on to Tony Perez at first. End of the 6th. Chicago leads Cincinnati 5-4. 10 to 15 is reasonable. So somebody told me that the PDFs for this game are $9. So AI Manager now is going to go to the bullpen again. So Raleigh Eastwick will come in now. So let's look at Raleigh Eastwick here. And we'll have to look at his pitcher card, the pitcher batting card too. So I like the analytics that you have up here too in this game. So good, bad, neutral. He is best at tough. His core is tough. Yeah, really like it. I like what the game does. All right. Mm, I wouldn't. I mean, 15 for me, JT, would be the highest I would go on a season DLC for this game if I were the developer. Only because of the competition that you have on Steam. And Out of the Park Baseball outdistances Digital Diamond by miles. I mean, it really, really does. So we'll see. I think it's cool they're going to Steam, and I hope it works really well. Bring more people into the hobby, right? All right, back at the top of the order, Don Kessinger. Yeah, if over 15, then I might have to take back my I want to go in on this game. I would be buying a lot of seasons, but not at the same rate that I would have, like I did Action PC Baseball. I was buying stuff every week for that game. And a lot of times even stuff not on sale, because I think Dave's I think seasons normally are I think they're around $15 when they're not on sale. So if you go, I think if you go over Action PC's price, you're going to hurt yourself. I think, but hey, they probably have done their market research, so we'll see. I mean, I think it's a great game. I do. I'm just trying to think in terms of the more casual or other baseball gamers wanting to get into this, and they're going to look at these prices, and they haven't decided pricing yet, so we'll see. And I know, again, guys, I know a lot of work is going into these. It's not like you're just randomly generating these cards or anything like that. So I'll tell you what, if this was a subscription based service, the way that Strat Max is, I would do a subscription to this game if it was, say, around the same price as Strat Max. I would subscribe to this game even too. I like it that much. Because I just love the way this flows, man. It's like you can't screw up. All right, this is a tough from the pitcher and fly ball to center field by Don Kessinger. So first time today he's not on base. And Jim Tyrone is going to come in and pinch hit for Jose Cardenal. Significant value improvement available. So I kind of like that. All right. And you can see the thinking over here as well, which again I like. All right. So Jim Tyrone. Let's look at Jim Tyrone. I don't know a lot about Jim Tyrone. What about you guys? Pretty sparse card here, I think. So he's going to be looking for patient. All right. Here we go. All right, patient battle roll is a triple. Jim Tyrone says, I'll tell you what, son, you don't know a lot about me. I'm going to hit a triple. How about that? So infield is in now for the Mad Dog, who's 1 for 3. Madlock looking to make some noise here and add some insurance here for the Chicago Cubs. And this one in play. And we do have we have an advancement, so it looks like Chicago is going to add that insurance. Let's see what we got. Yep, they certainly do. So RBI for Bill Madlock, and it's Chicago 6, Cincinnati 4. Good ball game here, if a bit sloppy. All right, got a steal jump check, and that's going to fail. Okay. Sack bunt, no bunt, pitcher roll. And this is going to be a ballpark lookup. Ballpark lookup says wheelhouse. And for the batter, fly out to left field. George Foster has it for the out. So Rick Monday sends it out there. All right, so 2 down. Bill Madlock on at first. Andre Thornton, who is 2 for 2 today. This one in play, and off the batter's card, this is going to be a fly ball to left field. And that will end the inning. George Foster pulls it down. We are seventh inning stretch time. Cubs leading the Reds 6-4. And Rick Russell is out of there now. I guess he's fatigued from stealing that base. Eddie Solomon will come on and pitch for the Chicago Cubs. All right. Let me just take a slug of water here. Tyrone did have one triple and 22 at bats in 1975, JT tells us. Cool. Well, then, Jim, I'm glad it happened on my watch tonight again for you. Sorry about all that noise there, guys. All right. We're back at the top of the Cincinnati lineup, and it's Pete Rose. Pete Rose, 1 for 2. And off the pitcher's card, Tough. And this could be fly ball center field. Rick Monday has it all the way for out number 1. All right, here's Dan Dreesen now. This is incorrect. Showing Dan Dreesen is 3 for 3. He should be 3 for 4. 3 for 4. So that I think we should definitely, because he flew out, I think, his last time up. Let's double check, but I'm pretty sure Dreesen, of course, is that going to even reflect that? Yeah, see, it's showing him 3 for 3 here, but I'm pretty sure I said, oh, that's the first time he's not on base. Do you guys, am I imagining that, or did Dreesen not fly out his last time up? All right. Anyhow, it's showing Dreesen is 3 for 3, but I don't think he was. All right. Here's the pitch. Look and play. Oh, yeah, I could look and play results. Thank you, because I'm pretty sure he flew out. All right. This is Patient off of Ken Crosby's card now. So we've got another Chicago pitcher in there. And grounder to second. And a trio up and over to Andre Thornton. Let's look at play results, and let's see if we can find them. Can I search? If I type Dreesen, can I just type Dreesen? Okay, so bottom of the fifth. Maybe I'm just, I really thought that Dreesen flew out. Oh, yeah, okay, because just now he just grounded to second. All right, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Because let's see, Dreesen singled in the first. Sorry to hold it up, guys. I don't know why I'm thinking that Dreesen singled. Or no, this was Rick Russell. I'm sorry. Or no, Dreesen. Dreesen singled. And he singled. Okay, my bad. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. There we go. I have to turn my baseball card now and start following football. All right, Joe Morgan bats with 2 down, and he is 0 for 2. Thank you, JT, for that little tip. I got all confuzzled, man. All right, this is going to be defense. Flip the fact. And this is going to be a range play at second. And this is going to be a hit. Final result, it's going to be a single for Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan on. All right. Now I've got auto steal ones. It's going to be curious to see whether they got Morgan running or not. Steal jump check. It's a success. And he is safe. So Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench comes up firing, but Joe Morgan, Steve Swisher comes up firing, and Joe Morgan steals the base. All right, so the tying run now. Johnny Bench represents the tying run at the plate, and here we go. All right, this one in play, and grounder back to the pitcher. Johnny Bench not getting it done. We go to the end of the 7th here, we go to the top of the 8th, and I need to fix the current lineup. Multiple players assigned to pinch hitter, missing defensive player and left. Missing defensive player on right. Exactly 3 outfielders must be assigned. All right. AI manager sends Joe Wallace to pinch hit for Pete Lecoq. Significant value improvement. Okay. So I'm trying to continue, and it's not letting me do that. Do I? I can't do. Oh shit! So I can't do anything, man. This kind of sucks, right? Because I'm clicking. Uh-oh. Wow. Nothing's happening. Okay. Well, looks like it's a. I can't click this continue button. I can click on everybody back here, but I can't. I can drag them around, but this window is in the way. So, um, game and season stats coming here. Whoa. Yeah. Yep. It's a beta, so it's locked. I guess it's going to be a rain out, and the Chicago Cubs win 6-4. You know what? This is to be expected. It's a beta. Yeah, it is what it is. It's fun though, isn't it fun? Am I gonna have to? I'm gonna have to task manager this. I can't get out of it. Let me try escape key. Um, can I continue now? Nope. So can I at least exit the game? Let's try saving and exiting, and let's see if we can come back in. All right, just to see. Um, I don't even remember the date of that game. All right, no big deal. No big deal. It's to be expected. So, I am going to ask about the pitcher's cards. Can we even look? Yeah, really like it. You really like payoff pitch. Joe Bryan created a master. Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. And again, going to be buying this. Definitely going to be buying this game. Cannot wait for it. I'd like to see what I've mentioned that I wish they would do is when they release the game, they should like do the legends and busts thing. There's a second one that's going to be also, I guess, out with the initial release of the game. It would be nice to just maybe release this or something. Maybe they're going to do somebody to pick a season or have you pick a season. I don't know. You guys know me. I would play like the crap out of this. So, but I don't think we're going to start another game now. Still an excellent game. And again, if this was release and that happened, that would be a problem. But no big deal at all. So of course there's there's not going to be any. So not going to be any games or anything like that. So we would just play a new game. Yep, if we were to do this. So there you go. You don't get everything. So it's like 1980s National League versus 1990s National League, 30s and 40s, 1920s. So yeah. Anyhow, excellent game. And I will talk to them about or post this on the forums. It's like, wow, what's going on here? All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. A lot of fun nonetheless. This is going to be, I think, shaping up to Samuel Smith had said last night. This is going to be like the significant baseball release of the year, and I think he's right. What's not to love? I mean, the fact that they're taking their time with this, and this is just the first beta. And when you change code in one part of the game, sometimes that's going to affect code in another part of the game. And so I will definitely post. So my thank yous to JT Dutch, Samuel Smith, John DFW, Big Rev Kevin Thomas. Thank you. My favorite Irishman, Dan Burke, was in here. Did I say Samuel Smith? I'm going to say his name again. Brother Jack Dawson was here, and JT Dutch. first one in the ballpark. Thanks for the game. It was a pleasure to talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. Absolutely, buddy. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks for watching some payoff pitch. And for those of you looking for the pocket pennant run thing, I do that like within the first 15 minutes of the broadcast. And if you came this far, you missed it. All right, see you around the batting cage.